Morning gang, it's Tuesday. Look at this. Spring is very, very close now. The daffodils in my little garden are about to open. And snowdrops have already been here for a while. We love the springtime, gang. The rest of it's all quite dead. A little bit like my personality, really, don't you think? There you are. Morning. Yes, spring, I feel, is only just round the corner. I do like spring. Things bursting into colour. I wonder if I'll ever burst into anything, boys and girls. Do you think that might happen? Well, an email has rushed in. Two messages, actually. One from the lovely Wendy. Good morning, Wendy. Who says, great show on Saturday. I loved it. Did you miss Saturday's show? It's an hour long, you know. An hour of me talking. Well, actually, it wasn't an hour of me talking. We had four phone calls on Saturday. That you almost wore out the phone with your phone calls. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to talk to people. It really is. And there'll be another. Did you miss it? Okay, go to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Halfway down the page, you'll see two little boxes. On the left-hand side is the most recent Saturday show. And on the right-hand side is the most recent short video. Okay, so you can find it on there. An hour of chat to other people. Wendy says, particular when your conversation with... I noticed, Wendy, you're using the term convo, darling. Convo. Now, have you become American, lovey? Or Australian? No, you haven't. You are British. Land of hope and glory. Although, you know, you stop. This is a very, very slippery slide you've just gone on to, Wendy. A convo, dear. A convo. Please. We are British. We do not use abbreviations. You had a conversation. Conversation. Did you see how I did that from memory? Almost as good as my mental arithmetic. It really is. Please, can we have words in full, please, Wendy? Very, very disappointed in you, dear. And what's next? Oh, you're hoping that BM will be coming here next year? You wouldn't do that, would you? Well, please, don't shorten words, thank you. Particular, your conversation with... I've just corrected that for you there, Wendy. Your conversation with... I have to do that. With Wayne, he makes me laugh, so quick-witted. Wayne is fantastic, also known as Anonymous. Wayne, who, when he calls in, like probably once a year, maybe twice, he's a wonderful, wonderful man. Wonderful. I'd like to meet him someday. Wendy says, wish you would phone in more often. Yes, I would love to see you do a Wednesday show, but if you do, be careful you don't overdo it and exhaust yourself again. Oh, I do that all the time, Wendy. Always exhausted, dear. I'm personally exhausted, whereas my best mate Ron exhausts a lot. Do you know what I mean? Especially in cars. Oh, it's disgusting. It really is. There was I shouldn't really tell you this. There's an elderly man in the swimming pool change room the other day. He's quite a regular, and I know him and that. And he was sitting there getting changed on the bench. He's probably about 65, a little bit older than that perhaps. And it was funny. Every time he moved, he passed wind. I heard it, and he was going. Ooh, like that, and he went ooh. I mean, I didn't mention it. I think he might have lost control of something down there. Hello to Marge. Hi, Marge, who says, hello, Chris. I had an odd experience at Walmart today. Oh, you lucky old thing. Eh? I'm hoping to have an odd experience somewhere. Anywhere, to be honest. Anywhere. I had this question for you, and then about what happened. Have you ever had a Matrix moment? I mean, if you've watched the movie, there is a point where Canoe... I mean, what sort of name is that? Canoe! They must have had a very cruel mother to call him something like that. Canoe Reeves and other actors are walking up some stairs, and Canoe Reeves... Kunu, I'm not sure how to show it. Kunu and the other actors are walking up some stairs, and Kano, that's three times. Do you keep putting that name there just to make my tongue twisting? Is that what you're doing there? and the other actors are walking up some stairs, and Kano, who plays Neo, sees a black cat walking by in the hallway. Then he looks again, and the same cat walks again in an identical way. I don't remember the film. It must be years since I watched that. They say it was a deja vu moment, yet the Matrix did a reset and changed things. I don't remember this, to be honest, Marge. Well, this happened to me in Walmart today. What, people started calling you New Canoe? Is that what happened to you in Walmart? Eh? I looked towards the end of a row of items on the shelves, and a young lady with a short blonde hair... Sorry, a little alarm went off, so the camera stopped. Anyway, it started again now. I looked towards the end of a row of items on the shelves, and a young lady with short blonde hair walked from one row of aisle around the end when I saw her and down the next aisle. I only glanced down for a second, and she did exactly the same thing again. Oh, maybe you've gone back in time, Marge. Back in time, yeah. I swear she had walked down the second aisle already, so how did she instantly get in the first aisle to go around the end and walk down the second again? Maybe you fell asleep for a while, Marge. That happened to me in church once. I fell asleep. The priest was doing part of the service, and then suddenly it jumped to another part, and I don't remember the bit in the middle. She says, it was one of those weird things. I have no idea. I just saw moments. So if you have something like this, you or your viewers, I would be curious. So if you have next week any time to read this is fine, Marge. Yes, well, I've had deja vu moments, Marge. In fact, there was one on Saturday this week while I was driving along, and I suddenly became aware of a situation where a certain type of car was one side, a position on the motorway, and a crash was about to happen. I remembered it in my head. Looking around, you couldn't see anything that was about to happen, but in my head, I had a deja vu moment that a crash was about to happen, and I instantly switched on all my other senses, and I was able to avert the crash somehow by carefully watching the traffic. So yes, I have deja vu moments quite often. I'm sure everyone does, where something happens and you think it's happened already. Don't you? Yes? Do you do that as well? If you do, write in and let me know, because I'd like to read out your emails on this subject. My email is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Finally today, boys and girls, I noticed in the Daily Mail, it says... there's a little thing on Monday's edition about self-service tills. And in Daily Mail, okay, it says, the well-dressed middle-aged man at the branch of W.H. Smith was engrossed in a copy of the Daily Mail. Only he hadn't bought it. He was turning over the pages while leaving it in his place on the newsstand. How many times have we seen that? You go in a supermarket, newsagent, something like that, and someone is standing there reading all the papers. Why doesn't anyone do anything about that? If I buy a newspaper, which is actually quite rare now, I do it all online. BBC News and Daily Mail are generally the two news things that I read a lot online. But you often see people in these places picking up all the newspapers, and you're thinking, why isn't a member of staff gone, are you going to buy that? Oh no, are you going to buy that? We'll put it back on the shelf then. Leave it alone. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it alone. I watched for about a minute with mounting irritation as it became clear he had no intention of buying the paper. I imagined handing him 60p and saying, here, have it on me. But of course, I did nothing. With a sigh, I took my own bundle of newspapers, turned to the checkouts. There was no one there, just a row of self-service tills. Then I understood what might have been the reason for the man's behaviour, not meanness, but desperation. Perhaps he was going to pay for the paper, but then he saw he would have to engage with one of these profoundly irritating devices. And perhaps, like me, and roughly 1/3 of shoppers who are said to have abandoned their purchases and walked out of stores, rather than go for the procedure, he couldn't face it. They're so annoying. I have got better on the self-service tills, I must say. But why is it? Why is it when you've done nothing, Okay, you've done nothing, and suddenly it shouts out there's an undisclosed item in the checkout area. Please remove the item, and you haven't put anything there. So then you remove something else, and then it tells you to put the item back on again. And some woman comes in with a little card, swipes it across, pushes a few keys, and off she goes. And they don't seem to check, do they? The people on the checkouts. All right, so if it says that, if it says there's an undisclosed item, so you call over the woman and says, oh, it's just told me there's an undisclosed item. Then she swipes her card, pushes a few, and walks off, right? No one has checked in my bag to see that I haven't nicked anything. So I do wonder how much is stolen from supermarkets using this method. That and the people that put, for example, take carrots, probably 12p a pound, and grapes, £1.60 a pound, or whatever they are. How many people are putting through grapes as carrots on that self-service too? I bet the supermarkets, they must be losing thousands through these things. Mind you, I'm sorry, but in certain supermarkets, you want to go to a checkout with a girl or a boy on there. Okay? Waitrose, there's one. Very, very happy to go to a checkout and talk to the person on the till like a normal human being. Sainsbury's, not like that at all. No. It's like talking to a robot. Oh, hello, how are you, sir? Have you got much to do today, sir? And you know they're reading it. They've been taught to say this. In Waitrose, it just seems to flow naturally, like I'm talking to you now. Have you noticed that? What's it like in Walmart, Marge? Do they talk to you in Walmart? It goes on. Last year, one survey had the remarkable response of shoppers admitting they had stolen an average of £15 worth of goods every month from self-service tills. The most common reason was that they had given up trying to scan something that wouldn't scan. So very, very interesting that. Very, very interesting that indeed. And the self-service tills, well, I mean, I use them a lot now. I've kind of got used to them. Occasionally they hiccup, but they're nowhere near as bad as they were when they first came out. But it just goes to show you, doesn't it, with those tills? And please, before I go, will you stop reading newspapers at the newspaper stand and not bloody well paying for them? Because if I want to buy one, I want a fresh one. I don't want one little corners turned over, little dirty corners and disgusting people with their germs all over their hands on my clean newspaper, my clean copy of the Daily Mail. Thank you. Have a lovely Tuesday. Oh, yes, it's Tuesday, so I'll be hosting my regular Tuesday quiz night tonight at the Mayflower. That is in Rotherhithe in South East London, right on the River Thames. Perhaps you'd like to come tonight. And if you do, if you are a viewer and you would like to have it, and you're coming tonight, you make sure you tug at my sleeve. Excuse me, we watch your show. Oh, nothing would make me happier than for me to walk around the pub and for that to happen, even just once. Even just once. The Mayflower quiz at the Mayflower Public House, Rotherhithe, every Tuesday night between 8 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. 4 rounds of questions, 4 rounds, 2 lots of questions, a picture round and a music round. I can't remember what tonight's music round is now. No, but I'm sure it'll be wonderful and people will score lots of points. £50 bar tab. £50, £50 bar tab to be won. Thank you. Have a nice Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Ta-da.